Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Well, welcome back, everybody. We're going to pick up with her where we left off last time we got together, and that's talking about the power of positivity, but real positivity, not just, putting the rose-colored glasses on, pretending that everything's okay. No, looking at things in a different way, and even the activities that you do, looking at them with a positive lens. She oozes positivity all the time. I love. She's like one of the most grounded people I know. She is an amazing psychotherapist. Works with everybody on all different challenges, and also helps them reframe their lives, shall we say, in a positive way. So great to have her back with us, Susie Engel, on the program. How are you doing?
I'm great, Steve. How are you?
Real good, real good.
That's good.
Lots to think about here with the power of positivity and maintaining that. I think that's the challenge. How do you stay there? How do you stay in the mode of positivity? I don't have that answer. Thoughts?
Well, I mean, first of all, it was funny. You were like oozing.
You do.
I don't know, because I just view myself as me. So it's always funny to hear people's opinions of me or summations of me. It's very, very amusing to me, because I just go through my life and.
But you know what's interesting? You say that. So the men's group I'm in, I've shared with you before. We went around the room last week, and I forget where we were at, what the reference was, but we talked about you needed to, about 8 of us there that night, go around and each person pointed out from the others what you view as something positive in them and what you view as something challenging in them, not being negative. And like you said, I'm bringing this up because the way people view you, and I'm gonna share what they said. And for the majority of me, they said that I share a lot of wisdom, empathy. They said you love what you do. On the flip side, majority, so out of 8, probably 5 out of 8, somewhere around there, felt that I'm not as transparent as I could be or should be, or as we call it, masked down. Now, on the flip of that, I think I am. I share everything. I have no secrets, and my feelings along with that. But maybe it's something to I'll look at, because that's how you view it. Others may view things in a different way.
Right. And also, who knows, maybe you are masked down as because you are open, and maybe the people who are saying you're not masked down are the people who are uncomfortable with people who are masked down.
Interesting
You never
thought.
know.
And something else was said too, that I hide my masked down status by a lot of the stuff that we talk about. And I don't agree. I could see how it could be perceived that way, but it's more of I'm sharing, here's the crap going on in my life. Here's what I've learned how to deal with it. Essentially what we're talking, these types of things that we're talking about today, because I want people to feel better and grow. Like it's helped me.
I mean, this is not the subject that we're discussing, the power of positivity, but what I want to say about this is just the construct of saying around the room what is positive about you and what is challenging about you, or whatever that is, in terms of getting other people's feedback, is awkward. It's awkward. It's a lot of families do this, and I find this to be extremely awkward and very disconnecting. When they all get to the dinner table, there's an assignment. What is the best part of your day and what is the worst? As if people don't know how to just strike up conversation naturally or organically. And it's just awkward. And that's, this is coming from my perspective. It's just awkward. So I wonder if there were a different way for the men's group to broach the subject.
And that was just one exercise. That's a one-off. I'm never going to do it again. But
because it's awkward.
But believe me,
it's like saying what's good and what's bad. It's just binary, and I don't know.
Anyway, I
Anyway,
found it interesting. I did find it
yeah,
interesting, and
yeah,
others found value in it, as I did too.
which is good, which is good.
But talking
I
about
just feel like,
positivity,
I just feel like it's very left brain rather than from the inside out. Yeah.
it was an interesting exercise. But talking about positivity, we always do this. What's your win for the week? And we go around the room. What happened? What's good? What's good? Oh, I landed this new account, or you know,
Everything.
whatever it might be. Like even
I would be, that would be me. I'd be like, everything?
well,
Like, what are we supposed to, what? Yeah, no, it's funny.
it really is though, when you say that. Everything was a win for the week.
Yeah.
Let's go
when
there.
you think about it.
Let's look at that for a second. Let's look at that
Yes.
for a second. So,
Yes.
and not being silly about it, but saying what's your win for the week? Well, everything. Because if you look at everything, even the things that didn't go well, and reframe it
As an opportunity
as a
or
win.
another experience. I mean, listen, this is the work with clients. They have a struggle or they may feel even a deep, deep shame about something. And we start talking it through and working it through from the inside out. That's not left brain, that's the whole body experience. And then the client themselves can start turning a corner or making connections and say, oh my gosh, not that I'm glad this happened, and nor would we wish it to happen to other people, but the struggle brought up one of my limitations. And let's say one of my limitations is to advocate for myself. So rather than learn how to advocate, because I wasn't taught that as I was growing up, this is just an example. I shut down and I excuse myself, and then nothing really gets resolved, and it just sits or festers or grows or mushrooms within us. And so, even the challenges become, and now we're talking about positive, become an experience that brings growth. And you said at the beginning today, even though we zigzag, which is great, I think. You said, how do people maintain positivity?
Mm.
And maybe this is one life skill, right? To be able to look at our challenges and be able to say, what was the best part of the whole week? Well, it was everything about the week.
What if you're in a low? Let's say something happened. You're just feeling, let's say you're working on this and you're trying to ride, on a more positive train. And then something happens and you're like,
Yeah.
I didn't get enough sleep last night as well. So now that's like, just, it's weighing heavy on you today. It happens. You're gonna have those days.
Yeah.
How do you pick yourself up?
Well, I think you have to look at, because I didn't get enough rest, or because I have this difficulty right now, and I'm emphasizing now, is it throwing me back at a time where I wasn't as empowered or I wasn't as mature? And even a 7-year-old who may get thrown back to when they were 5 years old can start understanding this type of concept. And the other major part of this, so part of it is time orientation, and part of it is it tapping into this deep-seated self-worth that was imposed upon me. And we've talked about this, where you say somebody might say something innocently to somebody else, and that person might internalize it as an injury or wound to their self-worth. And that's nobody's fault. It's just how sometimes interactions happen. And so if it's tapping into that deep-seated self-worth that had been imposed upon you, me, anyone, then we have to be able to recognize that. If we can recognize it quickly, we can say, hey, yeah, that's from my past. I'm not that person. Just because I'm having a difficulty now doesn't mean me as a person is less than. Or I as a person. Me as a person, I don't think is grammatically correct.
I love what you said there right now, because it's temporary. It's just, I'm feeling this way right now. Doesn't mean you're going to feel that way in an hour, a day. It's right now. I love that.
Well, and this is very Eastern, and hopefully more Eastern is coming West, that things pass. I sell Buddha boards you paint on the screen with water and the image evaporates eventually, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's representative, it's therapeutic, it's representative. Everything passes, and it's not to say that we can't look at it or we have to avoid it. It's just to say it's like you're saying, it's temporary, but also if it doesn't feel temporary, then there's something about our self-worth that's holding us back from being positive, moving forward, having a healthy sense of self.
It's often been said, we've talked about it before, gratitude and expressing gratitude in everything or as much as you can. What if you look at it through that gratitude lens when something presents, and instead of saying, "Oh, I can't believe that happened," well, to say, I'm grateful that took place because that's going to get me ready for the next step. Or I'm grateful it wasn't really pleasurable, but I learned from that, and I'm grateful for it.
Yeah, that takes time. That's like the process of letting go. There's a lot of steps before that for a lot of people, but to be able to say, this is the reality, and do I have the capacity to handle this, or am I, deep in some wounded self-worth that's preventing me? If we get back to positivity and playing sports,
Mm-hmm.
you know as well as I do. I have a lot of clients who play golf. I actually play a little golf, but I play more tennis. But I have fun playing. I don't bash myself. I just want to enjoy myself and improve. And it's sociable and what have you. Now, I have clients who have worked through just feeling embarrassed about how they play. And that's talking about shame. They're ashamed. The shame didn't come from the golf course. Shame came from some other time and place in history for this person or these people,
Yep.
And I think that if people work through these things, then they're at a different level of existence.
I relate to this completely because I'm going to say that was me. Like when I was growing up, I wasn't into sports. Whenever I had to do them, elementary school, whatever, I never got picked for dodgeball because I was a big fat kid and whatever. So I would think about how I perform. Now, I play tennis like 3 times a summer, and I'm here to admit I'm horrible, but I love it.
It doesn't matter.
And I may not have the perfect swing or the perfect form, but I move my butt so fast that I can keep up, and I get it done. Maybe not in a conventional tennis way, but I play by the rules, and it's fun. You have fun with it. Yeah. Enjoy it.
Yeah. And make the most of it. We were talking a little bit about that last podcast about, well, there were those series of snowstorms and we have to shovel if we don't afford or we don't have access to a person who does that for us.
Yep.
And isn't the snow less heavy if we have a positive attitude, or
Truth.
that it's giving us exercise, or that we're outdoors and seeing the quiet of the winter, or
that's exactly all the things you just said are exactly what I did. And I had a goal of freeing my old Jeep that was in the street. So now it got really plowed in with, 2.5 feet of snow.
Yeah.
But it was more of a, can I pull this off in a reasonably short amount of time? Can I get this thing free? I'm outside. I'm getting some fresh air. I feel grounded because I love being outside.
Yes.
I hate the cold. I hate the snow.
I don't like
I hate doing that kind of work because what's the end result?
hurts.
I move snow.
Cold.
It's not like I dug a hole and planted a tree and now I got something to see. but I flipped it all to those other things and made it a positive experience. And you know what? I kind of enjoyed it. I got to tell you, it was kind of fun, you know?
Well, I don't like the cold because I find it painful.
Yeah.
But if I have to be out, I make sure that I get enough activity going so that my metabolism starts warming me.
I agree.
And it really works. It doesn't take that long in the cold, unless it's those below zeros and you get that brain freeze feeling. But that's different. So there's a lot of agency within ourselves to make decisions, to have a positive attitude about something, and everything usually goes a lot better or a lot quicker or a lot lighter. And there's probably more to appreciate around that. Sports, I feel like the people who are angry about their game, I feel like they're self-conscious. Where does that come from? I feel like they're ashamed. Where does that come from? So they're externally focused
Yep.
on who's judging them or not, or who's looking at that or not. Or they have an inner script that somebody else taught them, or many other sources taught them to be an inner critic.
True.
And the people who free themselves from that play freely. Their bodies are less tense. Their motions are free. They play really, really better or well, and the bottom line is they're probably enjoying themselves.
Do you notice
You
that
can see the difference.
even
Yeah.
in tennis,
Sorry.
I've experienced this, even bowling, when you don't think about it, you do so much better. You're just
Yes.
having fun with it, doing your thing, and like, oh, wow, I hit that one. Oh, I hit that one over there. But then when you start thinking, all right, I got to make sure I get this, you usually don't do as well. You find that?
It's the truth. And there's that great book, Inner Tennis. It's like part of that book talks about how to become consciously unconscious. And that means get out of your head. And that means it's not about the left brain. And that means, sure, we can learn proper technique. Oh, that's fantastic. But at some point, it all becomes natural. And when you're not thinking, you play better, just like you said. And that's like such a key to life. Everything you do.
So I want to ask this question because we're talking about positivity. I think this is part of it. I wrote this down. I heard it and I wrote it down. Stop giving your power to the pain. Stop giving your power to the pain. So I know we're talking about positivity. This is the flip side of positivity. But so many of us, I believe, they were in victim mode. I'm not minimizing anybody's struggles and challenges, but we're allowing that to happen. You're giving, that you got something that's hurting you. It's taking your power.
And let's think about this. At some point, if we've done personal work on our own development, what do we come to understand? We come to understand that a lot of what was unconscious or that we were unaware of is coming to our forefront, is coming to our awareness. And when we have that awareness is when we can make those types of decisions or have our own agency. Now, if somebody, like certain clients, are deep in this, they don't have the awareness. And I can't say, oh, these are your choices. I would never. But once we do the work, the therapeutic work to bring what is unaware to us to the awareness, what is unconscious to the consciousness, and maybe that's a life goal around everything, because we probably could never be 100% at any of this, but it's a life progress, and it's exciting because we feel differently in our bodies. And then we're conscious, we're our own agency, and we make decisions or choices that benefit us. And if it means getting on the court and getting out of our head we can remind ourselves. Let's say we forget after a few minutes and we start saying, oh, I know, I should have hit it this way, or my backhand was backward, or whatever it is. Okay, then start again, reset, and get out of your head again. And pretty soon that elongates. It's like people with focus problems. Oh, I'm ADHD. It's like, you know what? If you focus for 30 seconds, take a break, and then focus. Maybe you're going to be able to focus for 45 seconds at some point, go on with your life. Maybe you're going to be able to focus for 10 minutes.
But if you use those lines, well, I'm ADHD, and this is you're limiting yourself. And I don't have ADHD, but there are things that, I'll beat myself up on. Like, if you ask me right now to do 30 deep knee bends, I'm going to tell you, I can't do those. My knees, it hurts. I'm going to say that. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be painful because I haven't done it in so long, and I need to get back on track. We have like 30 seconds. I heard this too, and I think it's in the line of positivity. Things change, and you see things in a positive way when you take responsibility for everything that you need to.
Yeah, that's the agency.
You agree?
Yes, that's agency right there. Responsibility, accountability. It's not a blaming thing. It's not the external. We talked a little bit about where's the focus.
Right.
Yeah, if the focus is here, what can I do to improve? I love it. Yeah, I'm all in.
And it's tough, to take responsibility for things. But again, let's say you're in a relationship. It didn't go well. Look what they did. Look what they did. But let's be honest.
No. Two people.
Two people, right. And
two systems, and two families, and two histories, and two ancestries, and two, it exponentially grows. It can't be one thing or another. It's just not.
And
not it's not about blame or fault.
No. And not to say that you're, let's say somebody did you wrong. Well, let's say it was really bad. You had a hand in it. It was a relationship. It takes two. The scales may be tipped way off, but it is what it is. And now you use the gratitude, learn from the situation, and move your life forward. Or call you. Another thing you can do. Susan Engel.
Just listen to our podcast.
Or that. There's a lot of nuggets there. Just Google the previous ones. Your website, susanengel-lcsw.com. Do I have that right?
Correct.
And Engel is Engel. Thank you for today. Thank you for your positivity. One of these days, because you're a state away, we're going to be playing tennis. I'm telling you right now.
That'd be great. It's getting warmer.
I
Not
know.
this week, but
I know.
We did have 2 days of warmth. Yeah.
just don't judge. I'll follow the ball. I'll get it done. But it's all fun. It's all fun.
Don't judge. Who would? That's no, I would never.
Nope. I know you would. Thank you. Thank you for today. We'll talk soon. Okay.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, Susie. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
When I was little, I didn't talk for a long time. I liked things to always be the same. Anything new or different would scare and upset me. I was very sensitive to lights and sounds. It was almost like I had bigger eyes and ears than everyone else. So I built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. I didn't like looking people in the eye. It made me feel uncomfortable. I'd throw big tantrums over little things like when my socks didn't match. Sometimes I'd do the same things over and over. Until one day, I found out I had autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I learned how to live with it better.
You can see signs of autism in children as young as 18 months. Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.